My name is Willie J Laws. I'm from a little town in South Texas called Taft, Texas. That's where I grew up, was born and raised. And I'm a musician by trade. About a year before I got out of the Navy, this buddy of mine was shipping back overseas, coming back home, and he gave me a guitar. He just said, "Here, man, I don't want to carry this." And he goes, "You just look like you can play." I knew like about 3 or 4 chords, but I didn't really play because that's not where my head was at the time. I wasn't even thinking about being a musician. Back in those days, it was like Ohio Players, Confunction, Brass Construction. I mean, all these like funk soul bands. When I heard that John Lee, man, I don't know what it was, but something hit me, and I was like, this is what I want to play. This is what I want to do. If you're a creative person, the best outlet for pain is your art, what you do. Man, I tell you what, if I didn't have music or I didn't have art, I would be in pretty bad shape. Second trade is I'm a cook. I don't consider myself a chef because I don't spend a whole lot of time in commercial kitchens. When I am home, I like to cook for my friends and family, mostly. I have cooked in other restaurants. Most recent, well, now I live in New England now, in the state of New Hampshire. I just recently moved to New Hampshire, but I was prior to that I was living in Boston, and I was working in a kitchen in Winchester, Massachusetts, called the Black Horse Tavern.
I think I met Willie. I was searching for some talent for a restaurant that I own. We had various players play from everywhere from Minnesota to Los Angeles. And walked in and saw this long-haired, dreadlock guy playing the blues with a cowboy hat on, bell-bottom blue jeans, some ripped-up T-shirts, and great musicians playing with him. But he really stole the show, and I just said, "Wow, I need to meet this guy."
Because I've been playing music as a professional now for about 26 years. And I remember when I first started in Taft, right after I got out of the Navy, there was no jobs in Corpus, and South Texas was pretty bad.
At the end of the night, I walked over very politely and says, "Listen, you really had an incredible show, and I'd really love if we could share your talent at this place I had." And I pulled out a $100 bill. I'll never forget this, and I gave the $100 bill to Willie and said, "Don't take this in any disrespect, but if that pays for some beers or some shots after the gig or some gas money home for the guys, please take this as a token of appreciation." And Willie took out the $100 bill, looked at it, looked back at me and goes, "Man, everybody has a gig for a blues player once they've been drinking all night." Took the $100 bill, stuck it in his pocket, never talked to him again.
Kind of took a little brief hiatus from playing music. But now I'm back with a vengeance. And by that I mean my band and I, we just won the Massachusetts Blues Society Blues Challenge.
Probably about 2 months later, Willie shows up to the back patio, and I could hear him going, "Man, I've never been down to McAllen, Texas before. How did I get this gig?" And he turned around and he looked at me and he goes, "Man, you're the motherfucker with the $100 bill." We've been friends ever since.
And that qualified us to go compete in the International Blues Challenge in Memphis, Tennessee.
We haven't seen him in a while. He's come back into town. He's about to perform this Saturday and more than likely play his heart out, which he always does, and will give you a performance of a lifetime. One thing about Willie is he has a way of gripping people whenever he's playing. He's playing just for you.
One of the songs I'm going to do is a song that I think will probably just kill down here in this part of the country. It's called "The Smuggler." And it was written by Isaac's next door neighbor over there, Terry Canales. He wrote that song, and that's definitely a South Texas regional hit. I love the song. It's great lyrics. I put the music. Terry wrote the lyrics. I put the music to it. pickup and I'm driving off from home. I've been a smuggler since the day that I can drive. There's a checkpoint in Salita. I hope they let me by. Well, I wrap my cane in cellophane, tape it up real good, smear it down with Axe of grease like a good smuggler should. And if they catch me, boys, I'm facing 99. There's a checkpoint in Sarita. Oh, I hope they let me by. Highway 281 is another road I use all the time. A couple 100 pounds of smoke set my feet on fire. You see, I've been a smuggler since the day I could drive. There's the checkpoint in Papuria. How they let me by. If it's illegal, I've hauled it once or twice. Yes, I have. I ain't scared of nothing, son. I'm gonna roll this dice. Yeah. I've been a smuggler since the day that I could drive. Well, there's a checkpoint in Laredo. Sometimes when it's raining, they'll set the checkpoints down. I'll make it go from home, load my pickup down. I've been a smuggler since the day that I could drive. when you play music, you don't get a chance to pick music. You don't choose it. It chooses you. Like I think any art or anything where you're creative, if you love it and you love to do it, it chooses you. You don't go out actively go out seeking it. It just comes to you. I'm gonna do a couple of other songs that are kind of up tempo, upbeat. I don't want to make everybody go and be all sad and stuff. Oh man, this boy playing too much blues. I have one song that's pretty uplifting and gets people up and dancing and stuff. I got this song from one of the Zydeco guys out of Louisiana, and I forget his name. But I heard the song on Pandora, and I just love it. It's called "I'd Like to Get My Hands on That." And it's just awesome.
Son, she's alright. You ought to see the one that I saw last night. I like to get my hands on that. I like to get my hands on that. I like to get my hands on that. Like to get my hands on that. Look out now. Oh, she's so pretty, long, tall, fine and round. She's built for comfort and not for speed. I like to get my hands on that. 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 Say fast. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like to get my hands on that. I like to get my hands on that. I like to get my hands on that. Look. My baby was broke. She left in her purse and gave me straight up $100 bill. She said, honey, put your hands on this. 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 Ooh, yeah. She's alright. You ought to seen the one that I saw last night. I like to get my hands on that. 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 Ow! Let me touch it, baby. I just want to squeeze it. Let me please it. Get my hands on that. I like to get my hands on that. I like to get my hands on that. I like to get my hands on that. Oh!
I mean, music is just one of the, for me, is my heart and soul, is my passion. Besides what I'm doing right now, you know, I'm passionate also about preparing food.
He has a way of making you feel like you're the only one out there, and I think that's what separates him from most artists, and the dying breed of the fact that there are not that many people doing straight up blues in his style, especially with his age. And look forward to spending the next 30 years with you, my brother.
I'm not usually at Isaac's down here in McAllen as much as I used to be. But when I am, I drink Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends. Eat gumbo. It's good for your soul.
Woman, son, she's alright. You ought to see the one that I saw last night. I like to get my hands on that. I like to get my hands